Hey, everybody. Welcome to ExtraNormal Podcast. My name is Christoph, and alongside me is...
Brianna Kaye. Hey guys, what's up?
And we are here to tell abnormal stories for these extra times. Brianna, how are you?
I'm doing great. Our kid is out of school.
It's daytime.
And then now she's back in school.
She's in a summer program. Not a bad person summer program.
Yeah, so we had like a couple days to sleep in. And now we're back at the grind. So yeah, and it feels good to be here during the day. As you can see, the sunlight.
These vampires are awake now. I don't know why. Are you punked up? Do you think you're punked up?
Am I punked up for the punk up?
For the punk up. We're going to like a grungy old man punk festival this
dare
weekend.
You? That's offensive.
All the people who are performing are going to be...
I don't care.
Okay.
It's going to be, it's called No Values.
Yeah.
And there's going to be so many great like punk bands that I grew up on. TSOL, the Vandals, the Misfits. Who else? The Addicts, Adolescents.
Iggy Pop and
Iggy Pop,
Bad Religion and
Bad Religion.
Black Flag. And
so excited.
it should be fun.
It's
I'm
going to
very
be
excited.
a great show.
I make fun, but
I feel like the only thing I will say as myself being a lot older to attend a festival like this, it's a long day.
Yeah.
It's a long day. There's a lot of bands that I want to see in what, like a 8-hour time
something
span?
like that. Yeah, 8
so
8 to 10.
So yeah, but we're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna go for it. We'll give you all the reviews. who's the most decrepit? Who's
well,
forever.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like a lot of these bands, because the artists are getting up there in age.
They are.
We don't know if they'll ever perform again, to be honest, or will we even want to see them? I mean, because to do a punk show, there's a lot of energy and a lot of aggression that you need. So I'm here for it, and I think it's going to be an awesome show.
I can't wait to see the old grandma Iggy Pop out there too.
I really wanted, because it's all ages. I really wanted us to bring our daughter, but I don't think she could hang. She's not ready, and she doesn't like. She knows the music. She knows like some I've played some like punk music for her, but a lot of it's like inappropriate. She's still in that kind of like So I feel like in a couple years, yeah, she would be able to. So, but I am kind of bummed because who knows if these bands will ever play again. Like the Misfits, the band members don't get along.
They hate each other.
This is kind of like a huge thing for them to be playing together. And I have to say, like, the tickets were not horrible for all of these bands combined. Because if you went to a punk show like back in the day, it was like $10, $15. I think cheapest I've ever paid was like $8. And so like it's really cool and noble of these bands to keep it real, keep it old school, not overcharge for this overproduction. Like, so I'm very like appreciative that they are staying true to what, being a punk rocker truly means.
Because Coachella is what?
Thank you very much.
Coachella is like $800 a ticket.
It's like
for the weekend or something?
For the weekend's like $3,000.
I don't know. Chelsea,
yeah,
but I know.
It's like wild. Like
That's too much.
Yeah, even this past Coachella, there was a few bands that I really wanted to see, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm just not.
Well, I mean, it's good. I think it's good. We're gonna see the last hurrah. It's never too late, or you never be too old to be punk rock. And this story epitomizes that, because apparently there's an 81-year-old man who's terrorizing specifically his neighborhood, with a slingshot.
What?
In Azusa, which is in Southern California, kind of close to us actually. There is a man who was terrorizing a neighborhood, terrorizing all his neighbors with a slingshot. And this happened, apparently the investigators said it was going on for 9 to 10 years, with dozens of citizens being victimized by a serial slingshot shooter. The man
How could it go on that long?
9 to 10. I think probably because they're like, who is it? Well, there's this 81-year-old man. It couldn't be him.
It's like because they didn't know who it was.
They didn't know who it was for a decade. They're like, we keep getting.
Fuck that guy.
Apparently there was windows being broken, car windshields, missing people, barely missing people with barrel-bowling shots from a slingshot. Luckily, no injuries were reported. The man was arrested Thursday after officers served a search warrant and found a slingshot and ball bearings at his home. Azusa Police Lieutenant Jake Bushi said Saturday that detectives learned that most of the ball bearings were shot from the suspect's backyard. So he was doing it from his backyard. So people didn't know where it was coming from. They were looking around. They're like, it couldn't be this 81-year-old man. But apparently it was him.
Wow.
They're apparently they're not aware of any kind of motive. They don't know
So
what his
how did
deal
he
was.
did he like actually admit, yeah, it was me the last 8 years, or was he just like, I did it this one time?
Well, he's scheduled to appear in court on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So he's
to be continued.
He's going to be facing his crimes. I mean, what do you do with an 81-year-old man? Do you lock him up?
You take his slingshot away.
You definitely take his slingshot away. You think he's the original Dennis the fucking Menace? Does anybody know who Dennis the Menace is?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. Which actually kind of leads me to a question. I have a question for the crew, for the people. We have neighbors, and they have been relentlessly hitting golf balls, baseballs, tennis balls, bouncy balls, softballs, every kind of ball you can imagine there is getting bounced in our backyard. What is the move on that? Do you confront, or should I just still be chill? Because I've been chill about it like the whole time.
Yeah, it's like, our kids are friends, like, they've grown up together and stuff, and it's like one of the things like, oh, no big deal, no big deal. But the other day, like, one ball came so hard and smacked like something in our backyard, and it was just kind of like, okay, like, when's enough? Like, I mean, like, there'll be times where you're out there fetching like at least 20 balls.
I'm like a caddy.
It's wild to me.
Sports.
Like, people don't just automatically say, okay, well, maybe we should go to the park when we have a park that's
we live close to the park.
It's like a walking distance of 2 minutes away.
Yeah, it's not far.
So it's just kind of like, because as us as like growing up with our kids, and we're all very friendly. If it was art, like, we would never do that. Like, we would just you have like the common decency and respect for people to just know that a couple times it's okay. Oh, our kids. But when there's that many, it's just like, that's kind of taking advantage to me, to be honest.
Yeah, so I'm at a crossroads. I don't know whether I should confront, call the cops, or be passive aggressive and get on my baseball bat and start slinging baseballs over the fence.
Get a slingshot.
Knowing my luck, though, I'd probably be the one to bust out a window with a bat and a baseball. So
that's true.
I don't know what to do. Let us know what you would do. We got baseballs coming down into our backyard, but at least it's not cans of ravioli. Because in Oregon, it sounds like an Oregon thing. Apparently, someone is from a building. Someone's been chucking over canned goods off of their like balcony, essentially, and chucking
on people. Okay, so many questions.
This comes from Oregon Live. It was nearly 6 weeks ago that Lauren Ellis returned to her car after working her evening bartending shift at Higgins Restaurant in downtown Portland when she noticed a smashed can of ravioli on the ground. She said she inspected her car in the darkness, but didn't notice until the next morning any obvious damage, a sizable dent on the roof, so someone's chucking it at cars.
Oh, no.
Ellis recounts how that early April day had been the first that her coworker warned her that someone had dropped or thrown a can from the luxury high-rise apartment building, the Ladd Tower, onto the sidewalk or the street below. Soon a few deeply shaken coworkers had been on break, reporting seeing cans plumbing down from the top floors of the 23-story building. Ellis said an inspection of Higgins' roof led to the discovery of a few more, totaling at least 8 to 10 cans. So they're dropping it off a 23-story building, whoever this is. I don't know if they've caught him yet. It's still happening, Ellis told them, after learning 2 more cans tossed last week. I think we're all interested in trying to figure out who this is so they don't continue. A can from 18 stories could obviously kill someone, if not hurt them pretty badly. Portland Police spokesperson Mike Benner described the can throwing incident as extremely troubling, but he told the Oregonian that because the person responsible was reportedly occupying an upper-level apartment that's above the leafy green tree line, it is incredibly difficult to pinpoint which apartment is involved. Benner said police would like the public's help in identifying the person. He confirmed officers had received multiple reports, all from Ellis. However, Ellis and Higgins employees aren't the only ones who've seen the cans.
So I would literally, if this was me, I'm already thinking like if I was this girl, if there was housing across the street or restaurants, I would literally be like, hey, can I set up a camera? This is what's happening. It's, I'll get a group of people that it's happened to. If it's just people at the restaurant or, the bar and literally set up a camera and catch that motherfucker. Like no joke.
But it's coming from the 18th story.
Are they sure?
That's where they believe. They think it's coming from. So it's like a camera from the ground is not going to really be great.
Why can't they have a camera facing up?
But still, are you going to get a good shot of who's throwing it?
If you can kind of at least see like
the location it's coming from, but still you're pinpointing it must be.
Because I'm guessing it would have to be in the vicinity of that bar, restaurant, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I would feel like it would be, there would only be like 3 or 4
spots. You can eliminate
suspects.
Who's buying a lot of canned food? It's wild, but the thing is like,
is the cans like open or do they?
No, they're closed.
Smack them so it's so high up there
it dents them really badly. But I don't
really hurt somebody.
It could kill someone.
And you wonder, like, if I was this bartender, like if it's one of her customers, what if it's like a regular or somebody, I don't know, maybe she was having a bad day or they were just assholes and maybe they asked her out and she's like, bro, like I'm at work. No. What if it's just some vendetta, someone being vindictive, you wonder. I wonder how many other people it's happening to. I
don't know. It's people have reported like all from the restaurant because apparently there's a restaurant there. You got to be a sociopath to be just randomly chucking cans of food out of your window or your balcony. Like, and this person lives in a luxury apartment complex. So this is some American Psycho shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's
for sure
wild. I don't understand. I don't get it. Apparently they're trying to fingerprint the cans to see if they can. But with fingerprints, someone has to have a criminal record. So what if this person is just flying under the radar, chucking cans?
Who knows?
It's wild. Hopefully it was just a whim, and hopefully they get caught. Number one, but if not, hopefully it was just a whim, and the cans stop being thrown because it could really do some damage.
Yeah,
that's a heavy ass from 18 stories. Like you could drop anything from 18 stories.
Is it just raviolis or is it other?
It's multiple canned foods. It's apparently raviolis.
Got some SpaghettiOs. You be standing there with your mouth open, like I'm right here.
SpaghettiOs.
Throw 'em.
What's the trashiest food that you like? Getting off subject. What's your favorite trashy food?
Oh,
like
I like onion rings.
Yeah, does
that not consider that trashy?
That's pretty trashy.
I feel like it's pretty greasy.
I'm thinking like Spam, SpaghettiOs.
Fuck no. As far as canned, I mean,
box
I
mac
like
and cheese.
I do like a good cup of noodle every once in a while.
Frozen pizza. Oh yeah,
probably a cup of noodle.
That's pretty trashy. I just literally had ramen the other day.
You're SpaghettiO though.
I love SpaghettiOs. I have SpaghettiOs in the pantry.
When we first were dating, like usually people bring like a lunch and you just would have a can of SpaghettiOs that you bring to work with you.
It's good.
Like multiple, you like
adulting with
had
SpaghettiOs.
a lot.
I had a lot. I was covered.
I don't like SpaghettiOs. It's like that one thing when you had when you were kids that you're just like, blah.
No go? Didn't carry over? No, okay.
No.
Sorry.
Well, it's like equivalent to me of eating like oh God, what's a meatloaf? Like
meatloaf
those two things
the
I can never
worst.
go.
It's the fucking worst. I'm with you on meatloaf.
Like, my whole life without eating a meatloaf.
You know what's trashy though? You know what's really trashy?
What is really trashy?
And this one I think is going to hit home for you a little bit just because of your car. Is fucking a Tesla.
Fucking a Tesla?
Fucking a Tesla.
Oh, yeah, that would be pretty trashy.
In a
I guess
disturbing...
it depends on who you ask. Some people would be like, it's sexy.
It's hot. There's that, like, my weird fetish shows. In a disturbing incident that has left many people shocked, a man was caught engaging in an inappropriate behavior with somebody's pink Tesla. And the incident took place on May 18th at the Hyundai department store in Ilsan, which is in Korea. According to the victim's husband, His wife witnessed the man kissing and touching her car for 3 hours.
Why did
Okay,
they?
you witness in a minute one.
Someone touched my pink car. Don't drive a Tesla, by the way.
No, it's not this
But
one.
somebody touched my pink car for like 3 seconds, and I fucking like got on their asses. I was just like, "Hi, like, did you need something?" Because they literally grabbed my like, what's it called?
The handle?
They grabbed the handle, and then they were just like stroking it, and I just was like, and it was like husband and wife or man and woman. I'm assuming they were together, and they were fascinated because the color that I have it shifts and it's a matte. So like, you know, but I still don't fucking touch my car, especially the handle. Don't touch the handle of my car. Like, so I can't. 3 fucking hours.
Kissing. First kiss, I'm reporting.
He would have got socked.
And
He would have got socked so hard.
This is at a
like,
department store. Like,
why did they allow? They sat there for 3 hours and watched him.
if he did it for 3 hours, maybe,
Why didn't they call the cops?
Maybe they called the cops and it took the cops. Why would it take them
3 hours?
Let's see if this makes any more sense. Following the bizarre incident, the couple attempted to report it to the police, but they found that unfortunately there was no specific charge that could apply to this weird situation. Feeling hopeless, the husband decided to share the story on a neighbor cafe site. I don't know what that is. On May 18th, the site is considered Korea's largest Tesla community. Oh, so it's like he shared it in a community board. He even asked if the couple should consider taking off the pink wrapping around the Tesla in case it helps prevent mechanophiliacs. Ooh. Apparently it's a paraphilia involving sexual attraction to machines like cars.
Oh.
It's called mechanophiliacs. I didn't know that. You learned something new. From ever doing something similar to their car in the future, he ended the disturbing story with, maybe it'd be best to remove the pink wrapping. I wonder if it was triggering the mechanophiliacs like sexy lingerie or something. Disturbing incident follows a similar one that occurred just weeks earlier in late March. In that case,
Also in Korea?
a different man, okay, this is going to hit home. A different man was observed engaging in sexual activity with a white Audi car. Recorded footage exposes the man on the top of the car hood, rubbing himself against it before doing the same to the car's front fender.
What make and modeled?
But both situations have sparked heated response online, with netizens bewildered with the disgusting incident could be turning into a disturbing trend.
I mean, my car, and I knew this going in. Mm-hmm. And I already, because the way that I dress, the way that I look,
your car was
I
very
attract a lot of attention. Yeah, but because I do have an Audi that is pink.
Don't victim blame your Audi, by the way. Don't say it has its coming.
I'm literally going to say that I get so much attention. You get so much attention when you're driving,
especially
too.
when I do. Yes.
And I mean, I've had a crackhead follow me and like hit on me, and it like, I don't know if it was the car that attracted. I don't fucking know. I don't want to know.
Probably. He probably fuck you in the car.
Yeah, asking me like what gym we go to.
You
We
want
should go work out together. Like weird.
Yeah.
Like so, but I'm not gonna get rid of my pink car. I love my pink car.
Yeah.
If someone's fucking my pink car, they're gonna be put in prison though. Like that's for sure. Like I'm not waiting those 3 fucking hours. Yeah, I'm gonna get some video footage because that shit's gonna
That's gonna be hilarious.
That shit's gonna go viral. But fuck that shit. And another thing, it's pronounced Tesla and not Tesla. Like
Whoa.
Pet fucking peeve. I've heard people pronounce Tesla with a Z, and it drives me crazy.
It clearly is an issue.
Why? Like, does that would that annoy you? It just annoys me. I don't even drive a Tesla, but to call it a Tesla, I think because it's like, it's supposed to be like, like a nod to Tesla,
Nikola.
And
Good old Nikola.
Yeah, so it's like, don't fuck up his name, like
my name,
like the car.
Google me.
But yeah, like Nikola Tesla, don't fuck up his name. That rant is over.
Okay. I don't know. Is it a crime? It's because it says it's not a crime in Korea
to hump cars.
To hump a car. Is it a crime here? I wonder.
So they literally just told him, like, please stop humping the car, like the police when they got there, or what?
Apparently, the police were like, we can't do anything about it. Sorry.
How do you get in your car when someone's humping it?
That's a great question.
Like,
It's a question I never thought I'd ever
you know
have
what
to
I mean?
answer.
Excuse me, sir.
Could you stop fucking my car?
Yeah, like,
I gotta go to the grocery store.
I guess until like he brings out his genitals, because then
I think that's indecent exposure.
Yeah.
I think the fact
then
that
you got him on something else. But ew.
I think the fact that he was just smooching and rubbing. I think that's
I wonder if there was tongue involved.
yeah. He
Tongue action with
was French in the Tesla. Why is it called French kiss?
Maybe the French
It
started
started in
it.
France.
Maybe they do it better.
Just more sensual. Yeah, that's disgusting. Are you scared now? Are you like
I'll fucking bust a fucking someone's mouth open. Like
after they bust the nut in the car?
They'll bust their nut and I'll bust
On the fender?
Huh?
The fender's a weird choice.
I don't.
What's the most fucked up?
I will hurt somebody if I see that. Like even like maybe I'll try. I will try my hardest not to be physical with them. I will try because I have a child, but
Yeah.
I will have a lot of strong words that I will be using,
Yeah.
and a lot of them will be cuss words.
What do you think that for you, other than the tailpipe, what's the sexiest part of a car?
The ass.
That ass? That bumper?
I love
good
the ass
bumper.
of my car. Like when I walk up, I'm like, that's a good looking ass.
Look at that. Look at that little tush.
That's a sexy ass.
Little car tush.
I have a sexy car. It's a sexy car.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have sex with it, but
You
sexy.
don't have mechanophilia?
Definitely not.
I can't imagine. Like, it seemed those kind of like fetishes seem so logistically hard. Like,
Yeah.
If you are attracted to a fucking roller coaster, I feel like that's a tough. Because if you're into,
I'm never gonna ride a roller coaster again. Now thinking someone's gonna bust a nutsack in there.
let's say you're into like name your random fetish. You're into
Choking.
right? That's accomplishable, and then there's like some fun out.
There's a threshold. You gotta not do too much, but not
Sure.
do too little, right?
But there's achievable goals. With a roller coaster, you're never gonna hit that summit.
Your achievable goal is to bust.
That's it. As long as you spooge on the fucking
I mean,
coaster.
you got off. That's the point.
Okay.
I guess for
Maybe
any
I'm just seeing
fetish,
it all
right?
wrong. Maybe I'm just looking at it all wrong.
It's like so we used to know this guy that like not personally, but we knew of him, met him
I
a
don't know
few
where
times.
this is going.
We met this guy that liked to get like kicked in the nuts at a fetish club when I used to like
I think we've talked
go
about
dance
this guy.
at a
This guy
festival.
lives in infamy in our heads.
like for me, I'm like, how do you nut? How does
After
that?
How does it even?
Yeah.
How do you not block it?
I mean, because it's going to be throbbing.
Yeah.
So how do you actually?
Oh, it'll be throbbing, baby.
When you're in that much fucking pain.
Yeah.
Because I know I've been kicked in my fucking vag. Like even if I was into that, like how do you like get off? It hurts.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to like. There's no interest in spooging after I get hit in the nuts. Like it's on the list of priorities. It's
for the men out there. Have you ever been kicked in your dick when it's hard? That seems like it might even be worse.
Yeah, it feels like it's more painful.
Have
right?
you?
No.
Yeah,
I've never
so
been kicked in the dick home. And again, another question I never thought I'd have to answer. Yeah, I don't know. Just protect your car. Watch out. Watch out,
your
kids.
dick.
Someone might be fucking it. Protect your dick.
Someone might kick you in the dick.
Someone might kick you in the
when
balls
it's hard.
or fuck your car. So watch out. So apparently, I heard this. Apparently, they're gonna just in case that. Remember our Ocean Gate topic where the perilous plunge of the Titanic's submersible. Mm-hmm. Apparently, there's someone who's gonna try it another time. Yeah, just in case the first venture on the ship didn't work out.
They're going on the same ship.
They're not going. Well,
no.
that
one's gone.
Not on
but
the
I mean the same concept.
The same vessel for the submersible. No.
Oh, okay.
So Larry Connor, a Dayton entrepreneur, will embark on another groundbreaking exploration. Connor, founder and managing partner of the Connor Group. Oh, you're into yourself, Connor. A real estate company based in Dayton, Ohio, plans to take a deep-sea submersible to Titanic-level depths to prove that the personal sub industry is safe. According to the Wall Street Journal, the announcement comes in the wake of the OceanGate vessel that imploded last year, killing 5 passengers, including OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush. God, Stockton Rush is such it's such a fitting name for that guy. Stockton Rush. Man who duped billionaires and killed himself in the end. I want to show people worldwide that while the ocean is extremely powerful, it can be wonderful and enjoyable and really kind of life-changing if you go about it the right way. Connor, known for his explorations to the Mariana Trench, which I think is deeper than Titanic, right?
Ooh,
I think Mariana Trench is deeper than Titanic. Will reportedly travel with Triton Submarines co-founder Patrick Leahy. The duo will plunge to the ocean's depth in a Triton 4,000 by 2, I don't know, that ship. A 2-person submersible listed on the company's website for $20 million. So it's a $20 million vessel. You would hopefully it's better than the Band-Aid thing that they went down in with Stockton Rush. The 4,000 represents how deep the sub can dive in meters per the National's news site. Patrick has been so apparently they're trying to prove that it's safe because they got all that bad all these deep sea voyagers, like deep sea voyagers, got a bad rap because of Stockton Rush, and so this person is trying to prove that it's safe. Would you, after all that, knowing what happened, even though this feels a lot more safe, this apparently this Triton company was one of the companies, along with this Connor guy, were one of the people who were like before and while all this like OceanGate stuff going, they're like emailing this Stockton guy and saying it's not safe. You're gonna hurt yourself and multiple people. They were flying that warning flag. Even all that, giving that context, would you at this point go down to see the Titanic, or would you just be nervous on just because
I think the only ship that I will go on is a
cruise ship,
military.
Okay.
Like, it's a rare occasion that you hear about military submarines and that shit happening to them. So that would probably be the only way that I would even.
That's the only way
if they're like, oh, we're going to allow tourists. I don't fucking know. And if there was some opportunity, that's the only way I would do it. I still would want to go.
You still would go?
Yeah. If it was in a military type Navy.
But I don't think military is running those type of submersibles. I think it's all
Navy?
private companies at this point. Navy has submersibles. They have submarines for sure.
They don't go that deep.
But not that specialized depth.
I believe that. I believe they do. They just don't tell us.
They're all in Antarctica.
And so maybe we won't be able to because they don't exist.
Think, for the military's perspective, I don't think they think it's fruitful, right? The whole point of the military is to...
Oh no, everybody's trying to get
destroy
to
and control
the moon and Mars and everywhere else, but maybe we just needed to dive deeper into,
I guess
our atmosphere and find what's beneath,
beneath the great depths.
I mean, there's so much that we don't know.
I think Cthulhu's down there somewhere.
I think there's a lot of...
Not Swamp Man. He lives in a lake. So not the creature from Black Lagoon.
Definitely sirens.
He's in the Black Lagoon.
The sirens are down
Sirens are down there, of course.
Which I believe those are our ancestors.
What?
How come chimpanzees are allowed to be our ancestors, but...
I mean, you could think of sirens your ancestor. You're full reign to believe that.
We're mammal. Hey, fish are mammals.
Fish are mammals.
We're mammals. Hey.
Are fish mammals? Fish are mammals.
Whales are, aren't they?
There's some sea creatures that are mammals. Dolphins are mammals. I don't know if whales are. I think whales might be mammals.
I think they are.
Whales might, but they're not fish.
We're mammals.
I know, but fish. I'm thinking about goldfish. They're not mammals. Goldfish aren't mammals. This has been science. Everybody.
So they say that dolphins, like we work well together, right?
Yeah, because dolphins are mammals.
That's
that mammalian.
That's the same thing with the sirens.
Okay, we work well with sirens?
No, they say dolphins do with sirens. So it's like, yeah, they're chumming it up with our ancestors.
Hold on, you think this is a beautiful picture. I'm trying to picture it in my head. It's glorious. You think dolphins and sirens are hanging out like they're buddies?
Does this surprise you?
No, but it amazes
I
me.
think Eminem is a clone. So like he's
oh
been
my God.
cloned. So
That's right. You deeply
does this
believe.
truly surprise
Deeply
you?
believe that someone cloned
don't
Eminem and
know.
bring him up to the
I
same age as when he
just
died, and then
I have a conspiracy
for
theory.
Eminem, waste the clone of technology.
I just feel like there's
or
something.
a semi-washed up rapper. Although he's coming back, he's making a comeback with that Houdini song. But before that, semi-washed up rapper.
I don't know.
Let's clone the semi-washed up rapper.
But you know what's adorable?
What?
His daughter has a podcast.
Does she really?
Do you know what the name of it is?
Hold on. Slim. Well, hold on. Slim Baby. No.
Hey, that's pretty good. A little bit of shady.
Okay.
That's cute.
That is cute. Good job.
Because she's, the
I
little.
wonder what she what does she even talk about? Like my dad's Eminem. Episode 2, my dad's Eminem. What does she talk about? I wonder.
I honestly would love to pick her brain
I'm gonna give it a fair
about
shot.
just like the childhood, because the way that in his lyrics it sounded like such a fucked up mess between him and his ex-girlfriend or baby mama, whatever she was, wife. I don't know, but that I just would want to know like
Love
her perception on all of that. If it was that bad, or is he just angry, amplifying things? But yeah, so many questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions. There's a ton of questions.
Clones are real. We're not at the clone war yet, but we're getting close. And
been through the Phantom Menace yet.
sirens are real, and they are friends with the dolphins, just like we are.
Buddies with the dolphins. But dolphins don't go that deep.
Sirens.
Do they go that deep? I'm trying to think of when I played Echo the Dolphin on
sirens.
Sega Genesis. Did we go? Yeah, well, we went pretty deep.
You're a fucking idiot. Sirens.
That's my reference.
Sirens also breathe air, though, too.
So they got to come up?
So I think they're like whales. Like you're mammal. Like you're thinking like they still need to come up for air.
Yeah.
Like,
So sirens are mammals?
I believe that in the unknown abyss, that there's like, I don't want to say like flips upside down, but like I believe that there's tunnels, and I think there's a lot of like places underneath there that where they could breathe air.
Oh, there's like pockets of oxygen?
Mm-hmm.
How do we get there?
I believe that.
That sounds fun.
I want to go.
How does that work?
Submarine.
Is that actual science?
Does anybody know? Hey, maybe that's the real reason why the submarines are getting destroyed. Maybe it's a siren. Maybe it's King Triton. They want to know the real King Triton. They're gonna get that Triton's gonna make it just evaporate.
Do you think that's like one of the things? Like they say that there's people who say, and I'm maybe one of those people who say that, like, it's for instance dragons. Dragons are just
Fuck you. Dragons are real.
Okay, just.
I want to know who believes in dragons.
Okay.
Fuck the sirens.
Hold on.
Fuck the clones. Dragons were real.
This is a lot to take in.
They were
today.
real.
I'm not saying they were real. We're gonna get a temperature check on this one. We're gonna get a feel.
It makes
for
me
the room.
angry.
Clearly.
They're real.
Okay, just.
You have.
Can I speak?
You have so many dynasties in China and Asia.
Uh-huh.
It's like origin stories with dragons.
Yes, I want
medieval times, dragons. Yes. Go ahead.
Dinner and theater. Do you believe that dragons exist? At this present moment, there's a dragon hiding away in wherever National Forest or whatever Grand Hill, Grand Market, Grand Mountain. Do you think dragons exist in some form today? Not Komodo dragons. They've been established.
Technically,
they're big ass. They're pretty much dragons.
I mean, technically,
I've seen them eat like fucking big ass creatures. They don't spit fire, but that's Eminem.
But that's not impossible. There are creatures that do know how to like even like spiders, like them being able, snakes, venom, like being able to do the stuff where like spiders can like deteriorate your skin. It just gives you so many more possibilities of what could really have been in existence.
What could have been something wacky?
I would say they're probably extinct, but I believe there's probably what I wish and what I want there to be.
I wish dragons were real.
I bet you there's like dragon eggs that haven't, like, I don't know, maybe they keep them cold so they can't, You're
thinking about Game of Thrones. I think
I don't know. It's an interesting thought.
Listen, I would welcome. Well, would I welcome dragons? It seems like it'd be fun for the first 5 seconds that they breathe fire on your house. And
Yeah.
no more fun. I was gonna ask you, like, do you? I think one of my stances, it could have been like the game of telephone. Like there was giant
A serpent thing.
Komodo dragon type.
But the flying part is where.
I think it might have got exaggerated. It might have been like, oh,
Unless they evolved, like, or over time, like they just.
I mean, the
became
game. It might have been
ground dwellers.
It might have also been the game of telephone. Maybe there was a giant lizard-like creature way back in the day, and it could jump really high. And then someone, whatever,
or shapeshifter.
maybe, or a caveman told his buddy that I saw this giant lizard, and
Dinosaur?
this dinosaur-like creature, whatever, and it could jump really high. And then they told their buddy that it can jump really, really high.
Technically,
And then all of a sudden,
dragon's a dinosaur, right? It's prehistoric.
It
seems
would be
like-
reptilian, I would imagine, in nature.
Then in some way, shape, or form, I think they would be, yeah.
What's crazy is they can fly. And that now the predominant theory is that, obviously the dinosaurs were much more bird-like than they were, reptilian.
Mm-hmm.
They were obviously had a lot of reptilian features, but they were much more bird-like with feathers. They're putting fucking feathers on fucking T-Rex pictures.
When
now.
our
What the
whole
fuck?
life, we were taught
They
there
didn't
was
have
something
feathers,
different.
not according to my.
So yeah, so
that's not my
maybe,
T-Rex.
maybe dinosaurs were not really extinct, and the ones that actually stayed, and the ones who actually were able to kind of like beat the weather conditions were the flying ones, and they're the dragons.
Okay.
Dragons.
Did you know a priest bit a woman?
Oh my God, this is an interesting segue.
Central Florida Catholic priest is charged with battery after a woman says he bit her
If you're into that.
during communion. She told police, yeah, the Holy Sacrament is now the human sacrament.
Like you would think it was the other way around, because like there's this weird thing, like anybody that
People are biting
that's Catholic.
priests?
No, okay. So there's this thing where you can allow the priest put the bread, the body of Christ, in your mouth. So it would be like you pretend you're holding out a piece of bread, and then you say the body of Christ.
The body of Christ.
And so I could easily bite your hand.
Oh, take a little nibble.
So that's why I'm like, I could see, I always wondered, as a kid, I was like, I wonder if anyone's ever bit their fingers, on accident or on purpose. But how? How does, like the opposite way, like, how does that happen?
Maybe thought she was holy. She told police in St. Cloud that the scuffle began after he initially refused to give her the sacrament. So he's like, no, not you. He's like, what do they say when they give you the sacrament?
The body of Christ.
The body of Christ. The body of Christ. No, thank you. The body of Christ.
I'm sure what he did was just probably just like made the cross over her or
You
something.
didn't say, he
like
said,
that.
not you?
Yeah, I don't think, yeah.
Move
I mean,
on.
maybe who the fuck knows? But I'm just saying, as if he had any common decency.
And maybe
courtesy.
she's not Catholic. Maybe he was on to her because she said he wouldn't give me the cookie.
Okay, yeah, she wasn't.
I don't know if it was the way I was dressed
The cookie.
or if it was what I like. I don't know what that means. The woman said, a witness said, so he tried to forcefully shove it in her mouth. She backed up. She said, no, don't do that. And she tried to get it. And then that is when he went crazy. So apparently the priest is like, no. The priest tells a different story. He said the woman had come to an earlier mass, but did not seem to understand how to receive communion. So he denied her the Eucharist. He says their conflict occurred when she returned for a later mass and she reached for an entire batch of communion wafers.
Oh.
I'm not judging you. I'm asking you, did you confess after mass? If you did not confess, I cannot give you communion. I bit her. I am not denying that.
How did he bite her? Like she's grabbing the cookies. Now I'm gonna call them cookies. She's grabbing the bread, and it was like, did he actually bite? Like did he break skin?
It doesn't say whether he breaks skin or not, but he's admitting that he bit her. That is a weird self-defense move. Like,
I mean, maybe okay. The only thing I can think of, like, there's a lot of flaws with the Catholic Church. I'll be the first to admit that. Maybe
Thank you.
like
Very brave of you.
because both hands were occupied because she's trying to grab the communion. And that is like, that's like kind of sacrilege. Like that is such a holy thing
The
that you
basket
pray
itself?
over. The whole idea, the reason why we do that every time in communion, you are reliving the Last Supper with Jesus.
Okay.
So it is such a special event to be able to receive that. Like, I'm not saying that he's right for doing that, but the only thing is if she's tried to grab a bunch of them, he probably used both hands to pull back, and the only thing left to do was to
bite, to take a nibble. I just
it's the
feel
only
like
thing I think of. Like
that's a bold move.
I mean, we weren't there. Like I would love to interview some people that were witnesses to that. But at the same time, yeah, he was wrong for that. But like I said, this is such a symbolization, and a lot of people, because, you know, they don't understand Catholicism. Like it's such an old traditional way that they do it, how they prepare it. They ring a little bell. I don't even know what that's about. It's like a whole freaking thing. And so like that, like to do that is like really like disrespectful.
Who's
beyond.
more who's more in the wrong? The priest or
I think she is, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Catholics
I think
coming out.
if the truth is what he said, if she's trying to grab and harassing coming back to later mass, for me, I would have been like, you know, Father, like, because they usually go out and you can talk to them afterwards. I'd be like, that really hurt my feelings. Like, I'm a child of God. Maybe I'm not Catholic, but if Jesus was here today, I know that he wouldn't deny me, and have this conversation with the priest. And maybe the priest could have given her one like after, but it's like once you do that, then it's like, okay, nobody, you know, no one has to be a real Catholic. Just come all, you know, which I don't think is wrong. But
I definitely don't think it. That's one of my pet peeves with the Catholic Church.
But so it's just the traditional aspect of how traditional the church is. They were the very first Christians, and so they try to really keep it old school, and that's why a lot of people leave the church, because it's boring. It's so standing up and you know. But it's they've kept it that traditional. I mean, thousands of years. So, you know.
But didn't Jesus flip tables at church? Didn't he go to church and flip tables?
That was in the synagogue. That
was his religion at the time.
Yes, and he did that because they were selling like trinkets. Like it was like right outside he's walking up, you know, to go in, and they're making money off of this religion, and he got very upset, and he was just like,
he didn't like souvenirs,
and he was just like, this is so wrong. You can't be doing this. Like you're here to worship, you know. We're getting religious education today, everybody.
Sirens and Jesus.
But yeah, so you think that, okay, knowing what I just told you.
Yeah.
Like in self-defense, and if he didn't have any hands available, do you think what he did was wrong?
I think what he did was wrong. I think it definitely, she was like accosting.
Yeah.
She was I think he had a right to defend himself, and that, like, listen, you can disagree with the whole basket of crackers thing, but
cookies.
You don't attack someone's basket.
I wish they tasted like cookies.
Just because you don't agree with the basket of crackers doesn't mean you could try to grab their basket of crackers.
It's like
but
going.
The biting thing is
it's
a
like
weird
going
fucking
into any church and just like, you know, just not knowing how they run things, and just like, oh no, you gotta do, like, it's just like, I feel like that's entitlement, you know, like, in a sense.
Well, it might be a protest thing too. It might be like, I'm making a stand to highlight the fact that it's prohibitive and restrictive, that you can only be like confirmed to have a cracker, have a cookie. Because
I've been to one of my girlfriends was like, she was really into it, but her stepdad was very Mormon. And so if I went over to spend the night, we'd always have to go to the Mormon temple on Sundays. And
I was going to ask, that's a Sunday thing still, right? With Mormons? Is it a Saturday?
And it's like, you think a Catholic church is traditional, and you think it's long. Oh my God, it's like 5 hours.
What do they do?
So you first start off in the main room, okay?
Oh, there's multiple rooms?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
And then the girls that
like
are a certain age have to go into one room. So the younger kids go, I think the boys and girls are all together. I don't know, maybe they separate them too.
Okay.
But we were like early teens, so females, we had to go to a certain room, and you have to dress. You have to wear a dress. Like I remember one time I spending the night at my friend's house. I brought casual clothes, and she was like, "You have to wear a dress. You have to borrow one of my dresses." And I was like, "Okay."
Not even pants. You can't wear like a nice
if you're a girl,
pantsuit.
This was in the 90s. I don't know.
Are
they a little more woke these days? Who knows?
I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, they would segregate girls of certain ages in certain rooms and boys in certain rooms. And then you meet again at the end in the main hall with everybody. And I will say, and I don't know if it's just because they didn't know I wasn't Mormon or whatever.
Oh, they knew. They knew.
I was allowed to drink. They don't drink wine, so I was allowed to drink the grape juice. Pretty good. I was like Welch's.
I like a grape juice.
What, is it Welch's? Whatever that brand is.
I think
that's
Welch's.
what it sounds. Pretty good grape juice.
Okay.
And then you get to have some bread, and I remember the
so
bread.
they do like the sacrament thing.
Yeah, but it's more like, so if homegirl would have probably went to that church, she would have been more accepted.
She could have stole a couple crackers.
Yeah, she could. Yeah. But yeah, with
Can you go into a Mormon church without being invited? Is it?
I don't know. I've only been invited, and I've
for...
never even wanted to go when I was invited. So it was just like I was kind of forced, because I had a single mom and stuff, and so like usually a lot of times when I was at this, this is a family I would go to Mexico for like a month with, and we go to all over the place, but I was with this family a lot. My mom was working 3 jobs and whatever. And so like I was with this family for a very long time, So I just kind of went with the notions, and I have to say, like, I never felt pressure to become Mormon.
Okay.
Never.
It was like, hey, check this out. If you want to join, you can join.
And I was so surprised that my mom was so okay with it, her being so devout to being a Catholic, She was so okay. She loved this family. She loved...
I think it's probably what it was, more than like, I hope she becomes more.
Yeah, she just was like, oh, well, whatever. So
was there songs?
I honestly don't. I hated going so much that I think I just blocked it out. It was just 5 hours, and I remember throughout the whole time I just thought I was just hungry. I was like, when do we eat? And I think at one point we do eat together. I think there might have been like lunch afterwards or something, but I just remember being really hungry. 5 hours.
That's
I don't remember anything that we did in there. I just remember the room being small and wearing my friend's dress. And that's about it.
Crazy. It's crazy. I want to go. Let's go.
Good.
Why not?
No, because I feel like nowadays they probably are more culty.
You think so? What if, are you scared that I may get converted?
No.
What if I became Mormon?
It's just why put yourself through 5 hours of that?
We could leave. If it gets boring, we've left an opera before.
Like,
we can leave the Mormon
church. Different. Like it's like a church is like you could leave, and I wouldn't leave because I don't want to be disrespectful.
Me and our daughter would go have fun somewhere. We're stuck at church. We'd leave like 10 minutes.
No, you'd have to find her because she's going to be in a fucking room somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not down with that. Like if I feel very uncomfortable with like separating like the children and the women and the men.
I mean, to be honest with you, I was like early teens. I was like 13 when I went. I felt very safe. I never felt. I think even they had like female instructors or whatever in there.
Fine.
But still, no thanks. No, not doing it.
Crazy. So I found this online, and this has amazed me. Apparently, there's a new type of warfare that's gonna be hot and ready.
Nope.
North Korea, right? They're not buddy with South Korea. They don't like
What's going on with Korea? They got pink cars being humped, and
it's wild world.
And now whatever this is going to be.
So apparently, North Korea is dropping trash balloons on South Korea. North Korea is putting trash in balloons, filling them up, slowly floating them over to the southern border. And they're just hovering until they pop and it rains down trash. Oh. North Korea has dropped at least 260 balloons carrying garbage down on their southern neighbors, prompting authorities to warn its residents to stay indoors. South Korea's military has also cautioned the public against touching the white balloons and the plastic bags attached to them because they contain filthy waste and trash. The balloons have been found in 8 of 9 provinces in South Korea and are now being analyzed. So they're almost in every province, which is equivalent to like a state for us. So they're all over the place. South Korea is not as big as the U.S., obviously, but they're all over South Korea, just floating around, waiting to just drop. The balloons have been found in.
How big are these balloons? I'm just trying to get a visual. Are we like a hot air balloon?
I don't. There's pictures of them. I'll pull a picture of them.
And how are they floating them over there?
They're in balloons. They're in helium, and I guess they're just attached. The trash bags attached to it, essentially. Apparently, I guess that's not a new thing because North and South Korea have both used balloons since the 1950s.
What?
Yeah. So they've been using balloons apparently what spurred this on, why North Korea was like, fuck it, we're just going to throw our trash onto, it's like basically it's equivalent to like throwing your trash into your neighbor's yard. This was a response to leaflets being left in North Korea by activists in South Korea. So the warfare right now, other than potential nuclear warfare, which hasn't happened yet, but close, is leaflets and trash balloons. So
wow.
South Korea is like throwing like pamphlets over, like saying, "Hey, North Korea, they like get free. North Korea sucks."
Oh my gosh!
And they're throwing trash. This was a response to mounds of waste paper and filth will soon be scattered over the border areas and the interior of the Republic of South Korea. Late on Tuesday, residents living north of the South's capital, Seoul, and in the border region received text messages from the provincial authorities asking them to refrain from outdoor activities. Can you imagine? Like, we live in a completely different world. Like, if we got text message notices, hey, by the way, don't go outside. It might be raining trash. I guess we're raining cans of ravioli in the U.S., but
wow,
and
it could be, again, it could, depending on how hard what's in there, yeah, it could hurt. It could really hurt.
It could really hurt. This is like the most petty warfare. This is literally like neighbor bullshit.
A bomb on me, baby.
I picture a world like the funny.
I've got to see video footage of this.
There's pictures of it. I just picture like how hilarious and fitting an end to the human race is if this whole trash balloon thing spurs on war, and then we get involved and it turns into like nuclear warfare that ends humanity as we know it. And all this war and all the end of human race is basically caused by trash balloons would be such a fucking fitting end.
I mean, it's like surprising, but not. I mean, look at how fans of soccer teams act and throw shit at each other, bags of shit. So it's like, it's the same thing to me, it's just like so stupid over a fucking game, know, like the stupidest.
And that's over, like you said, that's over a game. This is over like tense political, geopolitical.
It's all bullshit. Like it's to me that it's just, they're both equally as irrelevant. Like because of politics and disagreements, we're gonna throw shit on you. Like it's just so demeaning. And
it's wild.
That's all they want. They just want you to feel like they want them to feel lesser.
Yeah. And North Korea is a wild ass fucking place.
Yeah.
There's the balloons, by the way.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I was
just
imagining.
Hovering with trash. We don't really have a lot of this in our country. Like, there's not a lot of these. We had the fun. Remember the Chinese spy balloon that everybody was freaking out over?
Yeah.
For like a week. They're like, oh my god, we need to invade China. Like, we don't really have these kind of like, we don't really have that. There's tension between U.S. and Mexico relations sometimes. We don't have. No. We're not floating trash balloons over Canada or Mexico, and they're not floating trash balloons over us.
No.
Like, it's wild. I don't know.
Gross.
Anyways, this has been an episode of ExtraNormal Podcast. Again, my name is Christoph. Alongside me is Brianna. You can find us on all the social medias at ExtraNormal Podcast. You can email us at extranormalpodcast@gmail.com for any comments or concerns. And thank you so much